All right. So what's the purpose? What's the purpose of this? You're going to show me how wrong I am. Is that the purpose of this meeting?
First off, I'm going to try to get some conclusions out of you, because you usually don't give me conclusions. You just post a bunch of stuff and then insinuate everything's shit.
Well, I'm not going to get in an argument
not like
with
Eric,
him.
but similarly to Eric.
Well, I can say the same thing about you if you're referring to your.
When's the last time
rhetoric.
I insinuated something?
What is it that I'm insinuating?
Well, usually you state that you adamantly oppose climate management, which
Well, I do oppose climate management.
I technically disagree with, mind you. I actually agree with a lot of the things that you say about management. I guess really the biggest, I don't guess. The biggest crux with the way that you approach a lot of topics is how you invalidate what you say by using hyperbole.
Hyperbole.
Which is the same thing that Eric...
Hyperbole. Hyperbole is exaggeration for effect. It's usually done to show strong feeling or emotional response. For example, I will love you forever. If the speaker is mortal, we cannot understand this literally to make sense, knowing that the speaker shall die before forever lapses. But we understand it figuratively in that the speaker is using hyperbole to express strong feeling toward the object. My house is 1,000,000 miles from here. Given that the Earth is approximately 25,000 miles in circumference, it would be literally impossible for one's house to be located 1,000,000 miles from any given position on Earth. But we understand it figuratively as hyperbole in that the speaker is merely stating that they perceive their house to be a great distance from their current location. She'd kill me. Often this is used figuratively, though it may be used literally, in that the speaker is actually afraid that the subject will kill them. But usually it's understood just to give a strong emotional response. Other forms of hyperbole. Of course, there's hyperbole, the noun form, which we've been using. For example, the speaker uses hyperbole in its noun form. There's the adjective form, hyperbolic, such as, the statement was hyperbolic. Hyperbolic describing the noun statement. And there's the adverb form, hyperbolically, as in, she represented her position hyperbolically.
Does on Twitter and stuff, where he's like, he'll say something like, Max is a complete failure, right?
We have cameras on every train, and we have cameras at most platforms.
Why TriMet says the public should not be frightened by 3 stabbings this week along the Max line. Good evening, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Amy Troy. The police say this latest stabbing happened just after 1 o'clock this afternoon at the Max platform at 102nd and Burnside.
After they announced that, ridership is still at 100,000 trips a day on the Max trains. That's 4 lines. There's 50 bus lines, and they barely surpass 3 times that. So, equivalently speaking, if there was a representative amount of lines, there would be a representative amount of increases based on that. But anyway, saying that that's a failure is ridiculous by any standard of transportation.
There's only one Max line that's a clear success. That's the blue line.
And the red line's not too shabby either, considering
the red line
barely paid for it, or they paid it.
Well, they pay to run it, and Bechtel got all the land rights. I mean, there's a lot behind the scenes there.
Operationally speaking, from TriMet's point of view, or any transit in the country, if you look directly at just the bottom dollar line, we always get ripped off on the operational cost of transit. The only transit that's efficient in the U.S. is like the New York subway, sort of, BART, sort of, and the one that's unquestionably successful is the SkyTrain in Vancouver, BC, and that's it. I mean, transit isn't, according to the way we do accounting on transit, none of it is functionally useful.
Well, you're talking profit and loss. Well, transit's not supposed to make a profit. It's supposed to be public transit.
Right, I'm just saying.
Right.
You want to argue money.
I don't want to argue money.
Technically, it's not even worth building roads in the car.
Well, except that that's how the majority of Americans get around.
But I'm just saying, just from a money point of view. Sure, we can say, yeah, it's the majority of the way Americans get around. Yeah, most of Americans are fucking stupid, too. But
it's 3 agencies of government when I get there that are gone. Commerce, education, and the, what's the third one there? Let's see.
Who's the president of you, Becky, Stan? I'm going to say, I don't know. Do you know?
It doesn't mean anything. It just means that's how they get
You
around.
heard that, America?
Well, America doesn't disagree with me. I mean, they take polls on USA Today, and most Americans are like, yeah, we're all stupid. So, but yeah.
I've been against the realignment of the TriMet service from bus to Max from the very beginning. Because it disrupted hundreds of thousands of people's lives the way they reallocated the service. And I don't see the big need for it.
What?
The Blue Line, yeah.
They couldn't afford it with buses.
They couldn't what?
Unless they had a new source of significant funding, they could have never carried the amount of people that the Blue Line carries with buses.
The Blue Line can't be replicated with buses. I'm aware of that.
Should be here anyway. We'll probably only get closer. Love you. We'll talk to you in a little bit. Bye.
I still maintain the Green Line is completely without. What's it doing?
Except it's all new ridership.
No, it isn't. It came out the bus.
What bus?
All the cross buses that used to take people downtown.
Come on, those buses. None of those buses saw any significant decrease. And the 72 didn't see a decrease. Not a many.
Well, Green Line didn't do anything.
Not 22,000.
I'm not sure what the Green Line ridership is if you just take the Green Line
22 to 28,000 on the Green Line.
between Gateway to
The point.
Clackamas, because a lot of that's just Blue Line.
The point being, if you take the 19 and the 17 and the 72 and all the buses that connect anywhere near there, and you take all of their theoretical losses, which most of them haven't seen losses since the Green Line is open, they've seen a net gain since the Green Line is open, you don't come up with that gap. Even if you say, okay, let's just say 5 miles between Clackamas to Gateway, something like that, 5 or 6 miles. If you just take that part and you say, let's say it's 3,000 trips. Let's pick a low ball number, right? 3,000 trips between those points. You don't see a 3,000 trip decrease on the bus line in that area.
Well, you know, like everything, has progress.
It is not. We obviously, the Green Line has been many, many years in planning, and we are obviously very excited by it. We also know that the economy, 12.4% unemployment in the state, the second highest in the nation, is affecting our payroll tax revenue, which is really what funds much of our service. And so we are looking at additional reductions on our frequent service, heavily used lines of only... Here comes your train. 2 to 4 minutes, but it has to be a part of this bad economy and how we adjust to it.
And the only bus line that really matches anywhere near the Green Line is the 72 from Clackamas up the Gateway. And 72, as you well know, isn't actually a good match. It wasn't duplicative.
You're saying all the ridership is new.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true.
Where else would the numbers come from? Are they pretending or making up numbers? I don't think they would make up that many numbers.
I don't know.
I don't want to test that all their numbers are super accurate either, but they're not super wrong, that's for sure.